Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Feyi Mac. I'm a Nigerian Canadian based in Ontario, Canada, and I post about life in Canada as, well, a Nigerian Canadian and how to relocate to Canada. If you're interested in that kind of content, please keep watching. In this video, I'll be explaining to you some of the updates that have come from Canada immigration and also explain to you what your chances could be based on the numbers that we're seeing in the express entry pool today. If you've been following my socials, you would have known by now that Canada has announced that they're going to start the Express Entry Pool Federal Skilled Worker Program draw again. The Federal Skilled Worker Program pretty much stopped back in December 2020. During the peak of COVID here in Canada, there were such strict travel rules and restrictions, and so there was a halt on the Federal Skilled Worker Program draws for Express Entry Program. So if you're, a typical person following my channel, you're trying to move to Canada or you've recently relocated to Canada. But if you're trying to move to Canada, you'd have been trying to move very likely under the Federal Skilled Worker Program. Now, the last draw happened in December 2020. And I'm going to now show you what the numbers are for, just maybe a little bit of historical numbers from back in May 2020 to May today. This is 2022. And knowing that the draw is going to be kicked off again, you want to be positioned in a way that you're actually in good standing and you're able to compete with the other people in the draw. I have so many other videos about how this point-based system works. So if you're really confused about everything I'm saying right now, please watch my other videos. I have a playlist titled Immigration, just so that you can filter to only immigration content if you don't want to see, some of my other lifestyle content. So please watch that playlist to understand what I'm actually talking about. Quick explanation. It's a point-based system. The higher your points, the higher your chances of being selected to apply to relocate to Canada as a permanent resident. So you want to make sure that you have quite high points so that you can compete with the other people in the pool. I mentioned sometime in 2020 about, changes that were made to basically improve the profile of people who are proficient in French and have taken the TEF or TCF examination. In that case, it still very much applies. People who speak French are, really, really high up there in the pool right now. Anyway, let's look at the numbers and compare it to what the typical average used to be. Simply put, I'm showing you the number of people that are currently in the Express Entry Pool as of May 2022 and comparing that with the number of people that have been in the pool back in 2020 and 2021. Also, I'm comparing the number of people in each of the different point brackets. So you're going to see how many people have over 500 points. You're going to see how many people have 450 to 500 points and all of that. So let's compare these numbers. The links to all the information that I'm sharing here with you today would be in the description box below, so you can go and analyze these numbers yourself. If you want, you can even put them on an Excel sheet. I was going to do that, but I was like, you know what? Let me just come as I am and explain this the way I know how to, okay? First, let's look at, let's try to decipher what the average has been over time, okay? So this is May 25, 2020. We had at that time about 144,000 people in the Express Entry Pool. This is September 2020. At that time, we also had 144,000 people on the pool. As at January 2021, we had about 147,000 people in the pool. As at March 2021, we had about 147,000 people in the pool as well. So you can kind of see that it's pretty stable. It's been pretty stable. However, when we hit May 2021, we ended up getting 166,000 people in the pool. Now, remember that other streams like the Canadian experience class for people who had at least 1 year Canadian experience who qualified to, apply under the Canadian experience class, they kept on applying. People who applied under the provincial nominee program also did not get a break in their draws. So Canadian experience class still lasted some months after they stopped the Federal Skilled Worker Program draws. but provincial nominee programs have been going on. The draws are still on. I'll show you just right here. You can see as early as May 11, 2022, provincial nominee program, provincial nominee program, provincial nominee program. It's been ongoing. People have been relocating to Canada. People have been moving here as long as they have provincial nominee, as long as they have provincial nomination and as long as they qualify. Okay, so people have been moving to Canada as long as they had provincial nomination. Now we can see that the last Canadian experience class draw was pretty much, mid 2021. Okay, and people have been invited all this while other people are just waiting in the pool. Now here you can see that the last draw for no program specified, you can see here, right? No program specified. That was December 23rd, 2020. So that was the last express entry draw. That was the last one that included federal skilled worker program. All the other express entry draws after that were only for Canadian experience class and provincial nominee program. Okay, so you can also see that as of December, the last few ones that included the federal skilled worker program invited 5,000 people 4 times, 4,500 people 2 times, so they invited way more people than they typically did. However, the number of people in the pool pretty much stayed on the average. It was between 140,000 and 150,000 people. So that's pretty much, we can claim that that's what it typically hovers around. Okay, so as of May 25th, when the federal skilled worker program had stopped already by the previous December, you can see here that the number of people in the pool increased to 166,000. By January 2022, the number of people in the pool had increased to 196,000. Now, keep in mind that in the middle of all of this, there were also other programs like TR to PR route that the government brought up for, international graduates here in Canada that were already living in Canada and qualified for those programs. So a lot of people with high scores, that had Canadian education, Canadian work experience, they've already gotten their PR. A lot of them have already gotten their PR. So they're not even in the pool. So just imagine if all those people did not get their PR, there would have been a whole lot more people in the pool. Now let's go back to today. Now this is not May 9th. I'm filming this. What is today's date? On May 23rd. You're literally going to see this video today because yeah, I'm trying to do better for you guys. Okay. All right. So, but this is the latest information that we have from Canada.ca. And this just shows that as of May 9th, 2022, there are 206,000 people in the pool. I've never seen such a number for, this total. I usually track it and just, note what the numbers are for future reference. But I've never seen it go past, the usual 145,000, max 160,000 as of January. But right now, that Canada has already announced that it's coming with the federal skilled worker program draw in July of 2022. You can see that everyone has rushed to the pool. 206,000 people. It's also a lot of backlog from people, that were waiting already from 2020, late 2020, that didn't get in. Okay. So now back in December 2020, if you had a score of 470 and above, you were still considered a good candidate. Like you were considered a high quality candidate. There were draws for 475. I think there was even one for 469. One of my friends got in with that score. So as at that time, that score was really good. And I'm not saying now it's not, but I just want to show you the difference between the quality of candidates that are in the pool now versus May 2020. I'm saying May because I don't know if there's seasonal adjustment, but I'd rather use May now and juxtapose that against May 2020 and see what the difference is between the distributions in the different point sections. Okay, so people that we'll see how many people have 451 points and above. We'll see how many people have 500 points and above. Let's look at that. Okay, just so that in total right now, as opposed to May 2020, where there were only about 140,000 people in the pool, right now there are about 206,000 people in the pool, despite the fact that a lot of people, hundreds of thousands of people, have actually gotten PR between then and now through the other routes that the immigration services has provided. Okay, let's start from the bottom. And I'm just going to say, okay, let's start from not completely the bottom because 350 points and below it's not very competitive. So let's just start from, let's say 400, 400 points. So 401 points to 450 points. As at May 2020, there were 43,000 people with points between 401 and 450. As of today, in May 2022, there are 49,000 people in that same band, okay? Between 401 points and 450 points, there are 49,000 people waiting in the pool. Now, for points 451 to 500, as of May 2020, there were 19,000 people in the pool. So let me just say, let me round up and say 20,000 people in the pool as of May 2020 who had 451 points to 500 points. Okay? Now let's look at May 2022. Okay, as of May 2022, now there are 51,500 people with that same score. So people that have 451 points to 500 points, there are 51,000 of them in the pool as of May 2022. And the difference here now is most of these people are actually above 471 points. As you can see, 471 points and above, there's 15,000, 7,000, 3,000. So pretty much about, let's say 25,000 to 26,000 people that actually have 471 to 500. As opposed to May 2020, where there were literally only about less than 5,000 people with 471 to 500 points. Do you understand what I'm getting at? Do you understand how this has flipped? There were more people with 451 to 470 points as of 2020, but now there are more people with 471 points and above. Okay, let's also look at 501 points to 600 points. Before now, 500 points was a very, very far reach. A lot of people could have never attained 500 points without Canadian education, without having a sibling in Canada, and all of that. Right now, with French, with a master's, with so many other things that people have gone and improved on. Remember, they had 2 years. You guys had 2 years to learn French. Like I said, I came here and I was almost peeing my pants because the change for French basically was putting people above 500 points easy as long as they were proficient in French and they were able to pass the test. Okay, so now what you're going to notice is many more people over 500 points than there used to be. Okay, so let's just look at between 501 points and 600 points. In 2020, May 2020, there were 433 people with points between 501 and 600 points. Right now, there are 6,972 people with 501 points to 600 points. This is unheard of, okay? This is unheard of in the history of express entry, okay? So now there are so many people who have gone to learn French, who have finished up their masters, evaluated their multiple degrees, added to their portfolio, like done all manner of things. By the way, I have a video of how to improve your express entry points. I'll probably link it somewhere. However, what I'm trying to get at is that people have had 2 years to go and improve themselves, improve their profiles for the purpose of express entry. So when this draw starts in July, it's going to be tough competition. Anyway, let's finish up. As of May 2022, well now, we have 602 people who have scores above 601, okay? Scores above 601, there are 602 people. As of 2020, it was only 310 people. Okay, it's not easy to get scores above 601. You have to like really maybe have provincial nomination to be able to attain that. So, however, let's just focus on the people that are 471 points to 600 points. Just look at the difference. And that's why I came to you in this video off to one side, because I need to show you guys these numbers. It's crazy. And this is not to discourage anybody. I do not want to discourage anyone. I just want to encourage you and motivate you. You guys, if you've had an extra degree added to your portfolio or to your resume in the past 2 years, please evaluate it right now. Evaluate that degree right now and get it added to your express entry profile. Be ready for July. Now, it's going to take the grace of God for the express entry points to come lower than they used to be pre-pandemic levels. It's going to take the grace of God. However, it is possible if they come in and they start with those giant 5,000 people draws, like selecting 5,000 candidates over and over and over and over again. It's going to eventually eat up all these people that have the highest scores, and then it's going to more people will be added to the pool, but at least it would still kind of adjust itself back to normal. However, if they come in and they're doing the typical 3,000, 3,500 applicant draws that they've been doing in the past, then it's going to take much longer for the points to actually, for the cutoff point to actually come down to where some of you guys might be. So please do not just sit down and be waiting for July. Please try to get yourself into that high 400s, at least 480 something, 490 something, 500s. Please try to get yourself into that category so that you stand a better chance to relocate to Canada as soon as possible. You guys, today I looked at news from my country, and that was what made me get out of bed this morning to film this video. I know I haven't been the most consistent. It's not easy, living here with my, with my baby. It's not easy, okay? I don't have a lot of help. However, I want to do better for you guys because I know that you're motivated. If you watch my video, you don't need convincing about whether or not you want to relocate, right? So I'm really putting this out there not to scare you, but to actually help you help yourself. So please, whatever you can do to make your express entry profile ready for July, do it now. It's very important. It's imperative. The news story said early July. So please be ready for early July. It's not then that you should now just go and be writing IELTS. It's not then you should just go and be evaluating your degree. Please, I beg you. If you really want to relocate to Canada, don't miss the train. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I imparted some knowledge into you. I hope you learned something and I wasn't just rambling. Remember to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel. It's free, okay? You subscribe to my channel and hit the bell that notifies you whenever I post a new video so that you don't miss my content, okay? I'll see you guys in my next video.